Hey guys, Coach here. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're avoiding the smoke-filled mountains up in the northern Rocky Mountains right now. All the smoke that's coming from the fires in Oregon and Washington, and especially California, my home state of states, burning up. But hey, we're not talking about that today. What we're talking about is irrigating the yard, and irrigating in such a fashion that it is either efficient and time consuming, or it is, I don't want to say time wasted, but certainly more time dedicated to it. And I don't know how much time in the day or the week or the month that you have to water a lawn or water a landscape. But for me, considering my stage in life, I want things watered, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. And I'll tell you a little story towards the end of the video. But for right now, what we're talking about is automation versus hose dragging. And where do you fit in on that? Drop me a comment below and let me know how you still water your landscape as needed. For me, I think the automaticity of an irrigation system frees a person up to pay attention to other things, whether that's other maintenance issues in the yard, other maintenance issues at work, with family, with friends, with the house, indoors, and you're not having to go out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day dragging this around to place this somewhere so you can water another section of lawn, then another section, and then another section, and on and on and on. So I think what we want to do is take a look at the old style of manually watering your yard with the old drag a hose method, or do you want to put in something, which I'm going to show you here in a second, that is automatic. And to me, if technology is there, by the time you spend money on, I have 200 feet of hose here sitting, and by the time you spend money on 200 feet of hose, a brass impact head, the old Nelson tractor that still, hey, they still work good, but you got to go out and move it occasionally and move it around, which kind of ties you to that day or that morning or whatever. Or you can have electric valves, underground system, and the cost comparison, yes, you will always spend more on an automatic system than probably just a hose and sprinkler. But if you have a larger lawn area like this house at the project house is, you know, you spend some time. And what I'm doing for these guys is I'm paring that time down into different priorities. We'll have the water come on, the beds, the fruit trees, the new sod lawn, it'll all get automated, and they'll be able to think about doing some other stuff. And they'll probably do more things next spring. But we're doing it in phases, like I said in an earlier video. So take a look at this right now, and we'll look at, we've seen the manual, now we'll see a valve assembly, and in a minute I'll show you the piping and that kind of stuff. And then I have one story to close with. So let's take a look. So in the automatic system, there's an investment to be made in the beginning of the system. And what we invested in here was tying in underneath the house in the basement to a water source, running it through the basement and out a wall, and then here to our valve assembly. This is the completed valve assembly that has a couple of features in it. Number one, it has 2 shut-off valves, one to shut off the house system, and one to shut off or turn on from a shallow well and pump that they have out in the yard. But this here, once installed, you're going to see a tremendous amount of ease and lack of attentiveness when it comes to always having to move a hose and drag a hose. And you will always be able to tell most of the time on a manually watered system or a watered landscape because they are spotty. They don't have that regular drink that they're supposed to have. One part will be heavily watered, another part will be lightly watered. The trees will be shallow rooted, the shrubs will be shallow rooted, as opposed to the drip systems and the watering system that we're putting in here. Automated timer placed in the garage, flow sensors and rain sensors put on it so we're not wasting water during a rainstorm. So this is the other avenue that you can go. And the other avenue, the third avenue, is don't water at all. Just have rock and silk plants in a container if you want to go that way. But in this particular case, they enjoy the grass, they play, they have young kids, you know, that still run around. So in this case, we're going here. Now the investment that we have into this system right now is right around $600, not including labor. $600. Now compare that to all the hose, the apparatus, and the time. And to me, it seems like a no-brainer. Now I'll tell you what, even though I've always had automated systems in all the houses that I've ever owned, I still, every once in a while, love to pick up a hose and just go out, and I've done a lot of thinking at the end of a hose over my career and my life, just sitting there and spot watering or watering containers or washing a car or rinsing down a walkway, whatever it might be. There is still value there. But as far as time efficiency, landscape maintenance, and landscape quality, your automatic system is going to be far and away, in my humble opinion, much easier to do and much more time savings. So hey, I'm Matt. You can call me Coach, and I'll be right back in just a second. Well guys, welcome back. It's Matt here. I appreciate you staying with me and watching this week's video. I hope you guys really get some value out of it. Do me a favor and hit like and maybe share it with somebody. Like promised, I wanted to share a short story with you, to end this video. And I'm not trying to beat anybody up or change anybody's mind as far as how they care for their yard. I'm just wanting to impart a little bit of modern technology into maybe your landscape and be able to free up some of your time. In these busy days and busy years, man, it's nice if you just had a few more hours in a day where you could keep up and catch up, right? Well, you know something? I was at two family members' house not too long ago, and these folks have huge lawn areas, massive lawn areas. One of them is almost a half acre, and the other one's probably somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 square feet. So if you look at that, that's almost 25,000 square feet of lawn that needs attention at least once a week in mowing, and at least once, twice, and during a heat wave, even 3 times a week in watering. You know, your average fescue and bluegrass and Bermuda, not so much Bermuda, but fescue and bluegrasses, they need up to like a ½ inch a week to really maintain their vigor and do what they're supposed to do. Well, over the years, I've watched these family members drag hoses up to 150 feet and in some case 200 feet of hose all around the front, side, and backyards, and moving the old-fashioned sprinklers, hose end sprinklers, from one place to another, to another, to another, to another, over the course of 8 to 10 hours throughout a day. And you have to go out there and move it every couple of hours. So it's like a whole day is dedicated to being at home where you have to water your lawn and move that hose around. And some of those hose end sprayers are the types where you just can't walk up to them. You have to go turn the water off, then go move the sprinkler, then go put it where you want it, then go back and turn the water back on because they don't have a shutoff valve. And what I found was I asked them, I said, how often do you have to do this? And they're saying 2-3 times a week. And they told me that they have always watered their lawns this way. It's just the way they do things. And that's fine, you know, but I asked them, well, how long does it take you to do it? They said, oh, at most, you know, all day, you know, off and on throughout the whole day. So 8 hours or more. And I kind of looked at them, I went, oh, really? I said, so kind of your whole day is doing other things, going to the store, coming back, moving the hose, you know, starting dinner, going out and moving the hose. If you're married or you have your spouse, which in this case they do, you know, they have to go out and move it. And maybe they have to do laundry, then go move the hose. So anyway, I did a little math, and I'm not really good at math. So maybe you guys can drop a comment below and let me know how my math is. And so I did that, and I figured, okay, they've lived in these houses for 35 years. And I believe 560 days are dedicated during the 6-month watering period throughout the year. 560 days are dedicated to watering the lawn. Watering twice a week, 8 hours dedicated to it in a day. I hope I did that math right over that period of time. You guys let me know. I personally hate math, but I thought to myself that if they had spent about 3 to 5 days and installed an automated system that could be winterized in the winter, so we wouldn't have broken pipes and, you know, damage to them. And they would have spent, you know, about 550 days doing something else, like maybe other deferred maintenance issues, maybe spending time with family and friends, maybe hitting the road and go travel for extended weekends, or however they wanted to. It just seems like, heck, I'd sure like to have 550 days back. I mean, what is that? It's almost a year and a half or so. I will say one thing though. There is a lot of dedication to this style of irrigation for their landscapes. I personally, like I told you early in the video, I don't have that kind of time, nor do I have that kind of inclination where I want to do that. And like I said before, you know, I have spent many hours at the end of a hose, but more in a therapeutic thinking fashion, you know, like washing the cars, or, you know, washing a walkway off after mowing or something. That's kind of where I get into hose end type of application. So time versus money. Time versus money is what I'm really getting at in this week's video. If you had spent the money up front, and 35 years ago, how much would a system cost, you know? The recent job that I'm on right now, I think I told you, like $650 some odd for all the materials, not the labor. They're family, so I'm doing the labor for free. But one of the things I noticed, that hose dragging application is not a real accurate way of watering. Most of the time I've seen a lot of super heavy wet spots, super dry spots in this hose end style of watering, and it kind of stresses the landscape. Not to mention shrubs and bushes and other things. You know, they need a certain amount on a regular basis. Lawn certainly needs a certain amount on a regular basis. Otherwise, it's going to tell you. And nothing like encouraging weed growth by stressing out a lawn and allowing more native invasive weeds to come piling in and taking over. You know, if you looked back 35 years ago, you'd probably spend what, maybe $300 compared to $650 in this day and age. So I know everything is relative money-wise, you know, I get that. But then once installed and tested and taken care of, you know, the lawn is watered 2 times or 3 times a week. And due to the soil conditions, you can easily adjust, even with, you know, electronic sensors, you can adjust your watering so that the lawns in the landscape are almost perfectly watered and you don't have to do anything with them. And then you just winterize the system at the end of the watering season. Now, with all that stated, I get how some folks enjoy dragging a hose around. Heck, there have been, you know, like I said, I made some life decisions at the end of a hose before in a therapeutic type of way, but not spending all my time watering a lawn. I do have other things I'd rather be doing. But I also know how habits can be so ingrained after years and decades that sometimes people just can't think outside that old familiar box. or there's a fear of doing something different and making life just a little easier as you get older and have a priority shift, or doing something you don't know how to do, by turning around and learning it and conquering that unknown, that old self-reliance that I always talk about. I can remember 30 years plus ago, at my first house, I put a sprinkler system in and sold the property about 18 months later, and my buyer told me that because of the size of the yard that they were buying, they insisted on having one like an automated system that I had created, because they did not have the time or inclination to drag hoses around, especially since that first house of mine was kind of set on kind of a steep slope. I heard a quote not too long ago that went something like this, and I don't know if this is perfection or not, but you will never spend more money than when you try to save a buck. And in some cases, all those hoses over the years and all the devices, the watering devices, those Nelson tractors, I don't know how much they are, those Nelson tractor sprinklers, they're probably almost $100, I would guess. So maybe consider this approach, if you're a hose dragger and you're tired of doing it. You just might want to YouTube a video like, hey, maybe mine, maybe someone else's, and learn how to put it in. It's not really hard, provided you follow some simple things and put it in, and then boom, you have a lot more free time, and you can dial those landscapes in with timers and that kind of stuff very easily now. I use the Rainbird ESP timer, and it is, very, very user-friendly. So, hey, this is Matt, and, you can call me Coach if you'd like. I hope you found some value here. I would appreciate a thumbs up, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Every week I come at you with a value-packed landscape ideas and techniques, a little bit of inspiration, and a little bit of touting self-reliance. Also check out my plan of the week and product and tool of the month, and the fancy nursery at least 4 times a year every season. Please leave a comment below and email me with any landscape questions you have. Until next week, I would like you to take care and get those hands dirty. This is Matt. Guys, till next week, goodbye.